Hello, I'm Tom Booker, Senior Instructor. Thank you for joining me. This video tutorial is over Basic Iejutsu Kata number 2. We'll have a look at it from the front. We'll have a look at it from the side. This is a walking kata. We'll be taking 3 steps forward. Right, left. On my 3rd step, I'm coming up here, drawing into a roof block, and then I'm going to pivot about 45 degrees to my left. I'm stepping through with my left foot, overhead cut, and then from here, stepping back with the left foot, so my right foot is out in front of me, Iejutsu Chiburi, and then we no-toe, re-scabbard. And then we move back to where we started. All right, let's have another look at that. Let's go a little faster now. Notice that with the roof block, it's a single-handed block, and the angle of the sword is running down across my shoulder very, very steeply, and the sword is in fairly close to my head and my shoulder. Let's have one more look at that from the front. All right, now let's take a look at this from the side. And I'm taking 3 steps forward, roof block, and then pivot, overhead cut. My left foot's out in front here, and stepping back. So my right foot is forward now, and I'm squared up to the front. Iejutsu Chiburi, and no-toe. Now, one thing to really notice here is the roof block. As I do my draw for this, I'm orienting the saya upward so that I can draw and then shift into my block in one move. And I want the sword basically crossing over my ear and over the point of my shoulder. I want to be careful that the end isn't rotating back behind me or rotating this way out in front of me. This is going to protect me best right here. But I want to be very careful on the draw and block here. If I just draw the sword as I normally would for a cut here, and then I'm having to shift back to this position, it's going to take a long time to do this block. I'm not going to get it into position in time. I also want to be careful about this, that again, if I've got it in position here as I would for just a normal cut, as I draw, if I start to push up this way, with my right hand, while I'm leaving my left in position here, I'm forcing the cutting edge of the blade along here against the inside of the saya. And if I'm doing that, a couple of things are likely to happen, and neither one of them is very good for me. The sword may simply jam in place so I can't draw it as quickly as I need to. Or if I'm really forcing it, what's likely to happen is that cutting edge will split the saya completely and drive the edge into my left hand, cutting that badly. Now, this is not necessarily a good thing for me. So I want to be sure that instead of here, I'm turning the saya upward here and doing the draw almost straight up. And at that point, I can just shift the sword back over my shoulder. All right, let's have one more look at that from the side. All right, that is Basic Jutsu number 2. We've got a roof block, and we've got our old friend, the overhead cut here. But do be careful on that roof block. There's a bit more to this than meets the eye at first. Take your time, really practice on getting the saya and sword pointing upward as you draw into that blocking position, so that your draw and your block become one movement. Yeah, that is Basic Jutsu number 2. Thank you very much for joining.